Seriously, this cannot be real. Elon just posted something last night that will practically wipe out the meaning of 0 to 60s and hypercars. If you are familiar with the term, supercars are vehicles that can accelerate from 0 to 60s in less than 3.5 seconds and up to a top speed of 200 miles per hour, whereas the hypercars are able to accelerate from 0 to 60s from 3 seconds and under. Some examples of hypercars would be the McLarens, the Bugattis, and the Porsche 918s. These cars accelerate at such insane levels. Although there are some downsides to these, they come in very limited production rate and most of them are no longer being built. And on top of that, they cost upwards of $2 million, so that's something that shouldn't even be in the same segment when talking about Teslas. In 2024, things have changed quite a bit with the introduction of EVs and hybrids. Companies are now able to produce cars that can accelerate to insane levels of speed that you never thought possible. Some opting for the benefits of a hybrid system, whereas others are sticking to full electric. But one thing we know for sure is that competition is heating up and the internal combustion engine is on its way out. Now, the list of supercars and hypercars that we know of have a few things in common that make it possible to accelerate that fast. First off, they have all very interesting names that makes it sound fast. The Navara, the Aventador, the Huracan, the Regera, and so on and so forth. They all sound so wickedly cool that you automatically assume that they are extremely fast. But jokes aside, one thing you notice between all of them is that they are extremely lightweight and they all have all-wheel drive. This combination here is what makes it possible for all of these cars to accelerate at these sorts of numbers. But more importantly, now in 2024 that we've reached these sorts of numbers, the real limiting factor is going to be the tires and the traction it has to the ground. No matter how much horsepower you add to these cars, if it cannot get enough traction, you are going to get a very horrible launch time. This is where very advanced traction control comes in, and now with the new motor systems coming with hybrids and EVs, they are able to fine-tune this down to the very milliseconds. So practically all these supercars and hypercars are able to launch near perfect every single time you step on the pedal. Now let's talk Tesla and the latest lineup that they have here that is a perfect example of this new advanced traction control. That is going to be the Plaid Model S's. Tesla has been able to refine this car to extreme levels where it's getting pretty much the same quarter-mile times every single time. On top of that, the advanced tri-motor traction control system is able to allow it to do 0 to 60s in only 1.99 seconds. That is just mind-blowingly quick, but for a fair comparison here, the fastest production car right now is the Rimac Navara, which can do it in 1.74 seconds. Although you do want to keep in mind that it is roughly 25 times more expensive than the Tesla Model S Plaid. Now 1.74 seems to be the benchmark at this point for any production car, and there is really only one way to get it any faster than that, now being that the tire and the traction is the limiting factor. So this is where the craziest things come in. Elon just posted yesterday on X with some updates to the upcoming Tesla Roadster after years of silence. Although the team is truly adjusting for the mass marketed vehicle segments, they haven't forgot about the car that started it all. The team dedicated to the production of the Tesla Roadster 2.0 has radically increased the design goals for this model, meaning that we are going to be something exceptionally different than what we had seen 8 years ago. According to Elon in this post, there will never be another car like this, if you can even call it a car. This could really only indicate that a massive change is coming to the second generation Tesla Roadster, very similar to what they had done with the Cybertruck. Now, if you can recall, a few years back, Elon teased us with air thrusters coming to the Tesla Roadster 2.0. To further confirm that this is actually happening, he responded that this will be a SpaceX and Tesla collaboration. And the craziest part about all this is that he responded to a user about the speed of this Roadster. During the original unveiling, 1.99 was the benchmark and it was practically the quickest car in existence. But just a few years later, this was ultimately achieved by the luxury sedan, the Model S Plaid, and here we are today with the Roadster beating out even that number. Elon has stated that this upcoming Roadster is going to do a 0 to 60 in less than 1 second. This is all just too insane. The fact that even hypercars that cost upwards of $2 million is unable to get anywhere close to this, and that Tesla is able to do it while making other mass-marketed vehicles at the same time. And if you thought that was all, Elon said that achieving the 1 second 0 to 60 was actually the least interesting thing about this car. When asked by another ex-user if this car will eventually be able to fly, Elon responded with an eye emoji, practically saying it's a yes without saying it is. Although you want to keep in mind that this isn't the very first time he said that the car can fly either, so we'll just have to really wait and see. So just as surprised as you are about all this, he has even given us an ETA of the progress we have so far. It looks like the production design is already complete and they are planning to unveil this second generation by the end of this year and start shipping vehicles by next year, 2025. He then ended the thread with, "I think this has a shot to be one of the most mind-blowing product demos of all time." So it looks like Elon is crazy confident with everything going on with the Tesla Roadster, and this car will practically demolish every other supercar and hypercar in its path. Things are just getting way too crazy, and I am super excited to be here and share everything with you guys. 2024 and 2025 is going to be exciting years filled with so many new things, and I will continue to be here. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification if you guys haven't already done so, and follow me on X at HeyJohnE. Over there you guys can DM me and chat with me, and if you do want to support this channel, you guys know where to go. This should wrap it up for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is John once again. Peace out.